I want to tell you about my continuing journey with diabetes type 2. It's been 21 years and I still don't need insulin. My doctor, when first diagnosed, wanted to put me on an insulin pump, and I just felt like absolutely not. That's probably how I feel. My blood sugar was over 500, and my doctor actually made me sign a release form before leaving his office. Subsequently, I lost 100 pounds in 12 months. I'd like to go ahead and share with you this continuing journey. Stay tuned. Well, it began, I was 29 years old, driving on the highway from Chicago to Indiana, where I lived at the time. Well, let me back up a little bit, tell you a little bit backstory. My roommate, Tim, and I were living together in Indiana, which was good. And his parents were very good to us. Wow, his parents were awesome. They sent us care packages, clothes, shoes, all kinds of things. So they invited us up for a long weekend to come up. So at the time, I didn't realize that they knew my car was acting up on me. It was very unreliable and breaking down on me. His father took me to the dealership and bought me a car. I mean, it wasn't brand new, but he took me and brought me a car. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So I was driving it back. It was me, my brother, my best man from my wedding, and my roommate. So as I'm driving, I start to see things. Things start to get real weird on me. I started seeing in three. And hit the one in the middle doesn't work when you're on the highway. Just keeping that in mind. When you're playing baseball, softball, you hit the one in the middle, but not on the highway. So we stopped at a ready care because I didn't know what was going on. I had no idea. The doctor at the ready care told me that my blood sugar was over 500 and that I was no doubt a diabetic. That it really didn't sink in, but I knew I couldn't be driving. So anyway, when we got back home, of course someone else drove, but when we got back home, I went to the doctor, and when in the doctor's office, he did a number of tests, and he said that he's going to need to put me on an insulin pump. An insulin pump. That hit me like a ton of bricks. Because a little bit the day before, as soon as I got home, I started doing some research on diabetes and the effects that it has on the body. And I'd always been a healthy guy. I was huge though, but I was a healthy guy. I was 340 pounds. I was running around, playing ball, playing football, all kinds of things. Go to the track. Always from high school on, I never had a problem. I didn't think I ever had a problem with my weight, just because I wore it well and I could use it. I'm 6'3", big hands, big feet, runs in the family. My grandfather was almost a 7-footer on both sides, both grandfathers, so I was born 13 pounds, 8 ounces. My mother was 15 pounds. My grandmother was 15 pounds. We just had big kids in the family. So I kind of handled it well. It was really natural. So I never even conceived that that could happen. So let me continue my story. The doctor tested me. He said I needed an insulin pump. I was devastated. He then proceeded to prescribe for me 2 shots of insulin per day and 8 glucophage pills per day, which seemed crazy because I told him I was not going to go on a pump. He told me it won't be bad. It's like having a pager on all the time, and it'll just pump insulin that you need, because he couldn't seem to get it down. And something interesting happened with his PA, his assistant. She came in the room, closed the door after he left, of course, and she began to tell me of a system that she used to see if she really needed to do and take all of those different things. If she needed to be on insulin, which she found a way that she was not on insulin. And she began to break it down for me and how to figure it out for myself. That was pretty awesome. I'll tell you what she said later on. But what I did is I followed what she said, and I was able to get off the insulin and get off of all of that glucophage. Now, I wasn't able to get off it totally, but I was able to get off of all of that glucophage and no insulin, even to today, no insulin. Now, believe me, it might sound fantastic, and in a way it is, but it's a fantastic feeling for me. But part of it is it's not necessarily going to be your results. So I just want you to know that before we even go on, or later on as I tell you about how I lost 100 pounds in 12 months, or what my diet is like now, how it's changed, how it needs to change even more so. And I still have some weight to take off. As you can see, I still have a little bit to go. I have more to go. But I've been able to keep that 100 pounds off for over 21 years. So I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. My wife tells me, you've got to tell everybody. And I'm just like, okay. So stay tuned to my channel. I'm going to keep downloading or uploading videos that talk about these different subjects of how I lost the weight, the kind of diet that I'm on now, that program that the doctor's PA told me to do to lessen or even get rid of the need for insulin and all that glucophage. All right, stay tuned. Please, if you don't mind, go ahead and subscribe and go ahead and like the video on this channel. I'm new. I appreciate it, and we'll get back with you real soon.